Hello and welcome back. This is David from the Personal Finance Squad. In our last section, we went through the rainy day fund and the college fund for Jasper. And now we're going to get into the income and expense summary. This is the total of all the savings vehicles that Jasper decided to partake in to add to his budget. You can see here the last part that we left off on was that he decided to put $100 into his college fund for his son, leaving him with $703. So we kind of went through this in the last video, but I wanted to put this in a more structured form for you to see. This is a summary of what Jasper chose to do. And an important thing here to understand is when you work, you have to pay yourself. You heard that for people, especially who run businesses on their own. They'll say, you know, are you getting paid? Are you getting a paycheck? You may see these even on TV shows, but the whole point is you need to pay yourself. That's why you worked. You earned it. So it's very important, as I will circle this here. So Jasper, in this case, has the $703. And that's money he should be able to spend any way that he wants. Those are the leftovers. Those are the savings. This is the money that he can decide to use in any shape or form that he wants. So to go through a quick recap here, $2,735 are the expenses. Those are the bills that he has to pay every month. Those are the must-haves. And this is the number that we use to derive the emergency fund amount that he would need for a 6-month stipend, which came out to $16,410. And he was going to do this in 36 months at a cost of $460 a month. Now the savings, again, these are for larger expenses, short-term items such as vacations. Maybe you want to go bungee jumping, it costs $600 and Jasper needs to save for 3 months to get that. Something of that effect. The miscellaneous account is for those unforeseen items. Those are the unpredictable things like the dishwasher break-in that you just cannot account for. So it's a small amount every month to put a stipend in there to cover those things. That way it keeps him, or it would keep you, from pulling in money out of your savings or just having to sacrifice something else in your budget on a given basis. Rainy day fund, again, is more for long term. It's more mature budgets per se. You might not be ready to do this if you're a new budgeter or somebody who just doesn't have the means right now to do that. But again, this is built out for the pinnacle to get to the high end of things. So this is why we have it in here. And then there's college education, of course. For Jasper in this case, for his son. So again, you can see here that savings at $200, miscellaneous at $165, rainy day. Again, budgets are about what you need to do for yourself, what works for you. Now in this case, again, you could combine the savings and the miscellaneous into one if you wanted. You could say, I'm not ready for a rainy day fund. You could make the emergency fund smaller as long as you're putting money away. You could increase college education and decrease this amount right here, which would be $365. You could make this $200 and the other one, these two, $265. You have all the options that you want. Jasper might say, listen, I only want $100 in savings. I want another $100 on top of this $703, and I want $803 in my budget. Again, it's all flexible. You can do what you want. This is an exercise to work with, to follow through and decide as you go through this course with your teacher, or you are a live budgeter, which leads us into section 1.5, creating bonus checks internal to the budget. So as Jasper says, hey, I have $703, and you know what? I want another $100 here to give me $803. Now we have some options where maybe he can find other ways to get that $803 and beyond. And so we've talked about the bonus checks earlier in our videos. And you can see here that now we're going to go through a little scenario where Jasper, we know that he's paid bi-weekly, and we know that he's going to have 2 months in which there is a third check. So what we can see here is that in March and November, based off this sample calendar of 2013, that he is going to have 2 checks in the year that are $2,239, equaling $44.78. Now you may recall, so let's move this down here real quick. You may recall that I had talked about creating a 13th month worth of income in the beginning of chapter 1. But if not, this is one of the premises that we do. 13th month of income. And that is this number right here. That's that $44.78. That's the beauty of having the biweekly paychecks or the weekly, or there'll be other scenarios in which we can create such money. But this is where that money comes from. Now, you can see that Jasper could sit there and say, you know what, I just want to look at some basic math and know what can I do with this money right now for over the next 6 months if I want to evenly distribute it. And you can see right here that if we did some basic math and divided that by 6 months, or he could divide it by 7 or 8, whatever he wants to, that creates $373 a month for the next 6 months. So you can see that he gets paid in March and November. March is the 3rd month. November is the 11th month. So if he took this $373, it's only going to last, well, actually he would get it in March, right? So if he chose to use it the next month, he could either get it in September or October, meaning he would run out of that money. He'd have a gap of 1 or 2 months depending on when he wanted to start using it. Now, of course, if he wanted to have money every month leading up to the next bonus check, then he would just take the $22.39 and divide that by 8 equals $279.87. So on or about, let's just say, $279. So he could have $279 a month for the next 8 months, and then he would be replenished in November. So therefore, that's an option that he has. Now, for purposes of our exercise, we're just going to say that Jasper has decided that he is going to just take the next 6 months and use this money. So the $373 was added to the $703, which leaves him $1,076.16. So again, that's what he chooses to do. You guys can choose to do whatever you want with that money. You could also save it. Again, it's up for you. You've earned that money. This is a bonus check. You do, what you want with it. You've earned it. So I want to go a little further for those folks who get paid differently. Not everybody gets paid weekly or bi-weekly. Some people get paid monthly. Some people get paid bi-monthly. In my case, that's what I do. I get paid bi-monthly. I get paid on the 15th or 30th of every month. So I know that I'm going to get 24 checks. And it's going to be the same amount. It's pretty simple math. As is with monthly, you're going to get 12 paychecks a year. Now, that's not really the norm, but bi-monthly is pretty common. So you need to figure out what you want to do. How do you want to get money in your pocket? You got to decide and think about it that you're going to have more money on a monthly basis than what Jasper's going to on a regular basis and for most of the months outside of the bonus checks. So what we want to do here is start and do a little bit of an exercise here, taking it from scratch. You know that Jasper is 3% on his 401k. Now we just did some basic math, and we just said that Jasper's salary, gross salary, was $80,000. So we have to take the 3% pre-tax, multiply it by that for the year, and he has $2,400 that he will be putting into his account. So we subtract that, it leaves him with $77,600. And now the 25% that we've talked about is just a general number we're going to use for this exercise. That this tax equals $19,400 for the year. And again, we subtract that. That leaves him with $58,200. And then $58,200 divided by 24 gives him $2,425 twice a month. So we can just shift that right on over to here. And that leaves $2,245 multiplied by 2, giving the amount up to $4,850. So there's a difference here. If we just took our straight number, subtracted it not only from the expenses but the savings vehicles in here and the no spending money rather, Jasper is left with $1,075. We go down here and we can say that the difference is that he is going to get monthly $372. Again, don't look at this from what Jasper's bonus check months are. Just on a regular basis, If he chose, if he was getting paid bi-monthly, he would have this 372, and the difference is that is different from the 1,075. So this 372 is just built in. So if you want more money for yourself, it's already there every month at 372. If you want more money to just save like Jasper with his bonus checks, then you put that money in there. The difference is you're not going to get a bonus check. You're going to create money to save as if it were a bonus check. You're going to say, I don't need this $372. I want to put it aside. And you stick it in savings as an example. Right? And you do that over 6 months and you have your money. So if we did 372 times 6, it gives us $2,232. Remember, these numbers are all pretty close to each other if you did all the numbers between the checks and the schedules. So you can see that, again, that money can add up. So the difference is Jasper, he'll get close to this number, 2239. He'll get that twice a year, where here Jasper has to save up for 6 months to get that money, but he's getting the 372 all along. So again, that's an option. As we always say, there are several options what you want to do with this. If you are somebody who gets paid sporadically, like the bartender scenario, the server, again, you're going to have to take your normal money that you know that you get and find a way to pull some money out and put that aside. So that's just discipline. No different than saying I'm going to put money in my savings, in my miscellaneous, and my emergency fund every month. You just have to do an additional step to put this extra money aside if that's what you choose to do. So again, you can see the value of the whole point of bonus checks. It's nice to know that you have this money that you built in for yourself. And once you get it, again, you can use it every month, or you can just, hey, you know what? I got $2,239 and there's my trip that I wanted to take. There's my flying lessons. I mean, you could do anything you want with that money. And you've heard me say this several times, and I will not stop. You have to pay yourself back. So I hope you're getting the concept. I believe it's, if you start thinking about it for yourself, if you're already in the working world, start thinking about that. Go find out when you get paid. Go find out how much that is. Go find out if it's a monthly schedule that you have to change it around. Go find out if you're bi-weekly. Go try the scenario based on what's working for you in your working world. And you'll see that, the concept is pretty nice. And if you can find a way to let that money go aside, you're going to give yourself more options of how you want to spend your money or how you want to save it. So thank you guys for joining. This will conclude our Chapter 1. Our next move is to go into Chapter 1 review, which we're showing on screen here a little bit. And we're going to continue cruising through, and we are going to be happy, prosperous, successful budgeters. So I will see you in the next video. Thanks for joining.